Hey guys, and welcome back to Wind Waker HD. We gotta hunt down the Sage of the Wind now, but we need a few knickknacks before that can occur. So we're going to head east from the Forest Haven and track down said knickknack. Let's do this.
We're going to be following the exact same pattern. So with the Earth Temple, we had to use an elemental arrow, get an item, then we got the Sage, and we do the exact same thing again, just with a reversed element.
Yeah, and the volcano was obviously fire-based, so take that to its logical opposite, and you get ice. That's where we're going now.
Ice Kano.
Oh yes, well, not technically an ice Kano, a ice-themed island, which honestly is pretty bitching, just in terms of visual design.
It's like, I wonder if there are, like, hyper cold sharks living in icebergs. I mean, now that we've discovered that sharks can live in fucking volcanoes.
Oh Jesus Christ, just lock it down, lock it all down.
When people are like, man, science is so cool, it's like, yeah, well, there are sharks in volcanoes, so enjoy that heart attack.
Sharks in volcanoes, spiders that can fly. Why even live anymore, honestly, but...
What is wrong with the planet? It just wants us all dead.
I kinda didn't want to brag about it, but that was a sick, nasty shot hitting the ice cabin with that fire arrow on it.
Yeah, pretty good. The exploding star shot.
Oh yeah. I think this place was originally meant to be like a proper dungeon, but they kind of... Well, it's kind of redundant to say that a lot of stuff was cut out of Wind Waker, especially towards the end. I think Miyamoto even apologized for it being boring or something.
Yeah, they did. You can definitely... It's always the shame of the ice dungeon. Like I said, it was originally supposed to be an Ocarina of Time, but it got cut short to become the Ice Cavern, and then a lot of its assets became the Water Temple's assets, including the Medallion and its Trial. And then this game didn't have its ice dungeon. Majora's Mask had one, so I guess there was a little bit of redemption in there, but it was also like mixed in with lava. So we had to wait until Twilight Princess for a 3D Zelda game to have a pure ice-themed dungeon, and it ends up being one of the best dungeons of all fucking time.
Oh, it was so good.
But yeah, like I said, an ice-themed area here just shows how much Wind Waker does also suffer from Ocarina of Time sequel syndrome.
Yeah, it feels kind of out of place when the main theme of the game is air.
I mean, well, okay, ice in the ocean, not unheard of. It's...
Also, cold air, I guess I'm splitting hairs here.
Yeah, so, I mean, you can definitely tell that it does feel out of place, but not because of its idea, just because of how it's implemented. Like, maybe if there was a section of the ocean that, like, as a whole was more Arctic, then an ice dungeon would have worked, but just, like, a random ice island in the middle of nowhere feels off.
Well, in the DS games, I forget whether it was Phantom Hourglass or Spirit Tracks, there is an Arctic area.
There is an Arctic area in Spirit Tracks, but it's in the mountains.
It always...
So, I don't know if there was and the little, like, sea lion, reindeer, penguin dudes, they're in Phantom Hourglass as well, but I kind of forget if the ocean around them is different in any way, or if it's, like I said, a random ice island in the middle of a tropical ocean.
Also, a bit of an allusion to Ocarina of Time in that we get the iron boots in an ice-themed place.
Yeah, and this was the first time that they became a equipable item after many complaints of having to go into the equipment menu to get them.
Oh, sweet Jesus Christ.
They also look really neato too. I like how they look like they can fit his little stump legs.
I like the metal rings around the cuffs or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, like where the ankles are.
That guy was on fire and he didn't give a shit.
No fucks given. Also, it has little pointed elf toes.
Oh, we're talking about the iron boots here.
Oh yeah, I'm still going back to that. The dizzy mechanic.
Well, you know, they gotta nerf it some way, otherwise you'd be unstoppable.
Yeah, no, just use it all the fucking time. Just getting mo money.
I forget what you actually unlock here. It may be just a piece of heart or something.
It's nothing I ever got. Once I got those boots, I was outie.
Well, you know, the part would have been about 10 minutes long, and I kind of don't want to put up 10-minute parts unless I have to.
Yeah, Donkey Kong Country. My bad.
You can't blame yourself for a fucking Super Nintendo game, mate.
Can't blame myself for an NES game either. Those games be short, man. It would have been cool to see some of these enemies have some winter gear.
A little scarf and some booties.
Yeah, I mean, all the enemies are cute and have charm. Maybe if they had more time, that would have been like a thing. If they had included a whole, like, frigid area, it would have came with, like, equipped enemies. You know, just more things to make Zelda more cute.
Oh wait, no, it was much better than a piece of heart. It was 100 rupees.
Oh goody. How much does that piece of heart in not Beetle's ship cost?
500, I think?
Okay, so then 100 rupees is a fifth as good as a heart piece.
Oh.
Also, funny thing, when Link slides on the ice, he always makes it sound like, ah, Tuki Tuki! Oh, is that what it? I thought it was Tuki Tuki, like some kind of parrot.
You were closer. Unless you were voicing Link himself, I don't think any of us are going to get the pronunciation right.
Nope.
Also, again, going back to my color correction settings, yeah, they're a little bit brighter than usual, but I was watching on my television, and the glare off that ice is insane.
I can imagine. The glare off regular ice is pretty insane. Just making the game more realistic.
Yeah, it's like, you know, when it's rained and the sun is shining down on the ground and you're an introvert, so you're looking at the ground most of the time, and your eyes get hurt.
Get that snow blindness.
That was a very specific kind of thing to bring up, I apologize.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like, I mean, maybe it's just because I'm from Colorado, but the analogy we always use is just don't go skiing without goggles, because you'll burn your eyes out. Speaking of, for being on the ocean as long as Link has, I am surprised that poor little boy has not gotten tanned or burned whatsoever.
Yeah, maybe it's because with the Swift Sail, he's outrunning the tan.
Or Coral has supplied him with some magical Hyrulean lotion.
Oh, yes, that's it. It's not because I don't want to see you tanned or anything.
Oh. Oh, jeez. Oh, no.
Fucking raises that boat. It's a purple rupee.
Oh. That's a tenth of as good as a heart piece.
What's funny is you can actually pull up a single rupee.
Wow. Wow. Fuck you too, game.
It's pretty disheartening.
Alright, so we needed the power bracelet to lift the statue. And we got to use the iron boots for this area.
Combined with the skull hammer.
Yup. Alternative. I'm trying to remember what is the other way to get past this, but it's like... Forget it. I don't remember. Just... This game's broken and there's a way to break this island as well. The end.
I'm slowly coming towards you. Slowly.
Also, it's an Octorok statue.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. When was I going to get another chance?
Oh, goody. Hashtag just breezy.
What a blowhard. Die.
Okay, here we go.
I like to micromanage, what can I say? Like, in the original, it was always Sail and Wind Waker, because Wind Waker back in the day, for you kiddies who don't know, was an equipable item. Now you just press up on the D-pad and bada bing, there you go.
Yeah, like I would always have Ocarina on C left, and now I can have whatever the fuck I want on my 3 buttons.
I like how this feels more airy, whereas the Earth God's lyric felt earthier.
Yeah, in terms of like the sound being more solid, this sounds like it's actually coming through a wind-based instrument. Even though both of the sacred instruments in this game are string-based.
Oh boy, here we go, .gif.
Oh, good. I'm glad that we could include a clone character or two in this game.
Go ahead, Mexi, I can feel you seething over there.
Oh, with his name, Fado? How it always seems to come up. How in the original Fado was that one chick that was standing up on the podium, and who could have possibly maybe have been Mido's either sister or girlfriend or lady pal. Well, she was supposed to be the Sage of Wind in what would have been the Wind Temple. But of course, all the Wind Temple assets got changed to Forest, and with it came the Sage of Forest, who was then going to be Saria. So Fado got sort of left out. Now, like I said, Wind Waker suffers from just as much Ocarina of Time sequel syndrome as Twilight Princess. They tried to do what they couldn't do last time, and made a Sage of Wind, who is a, what you can assume to be a Kokiri, named Fado.
He said flat out right that he was a member of the Kokiri tribe.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. So yeah, you have a Kokiri named Fado, not a girl though, but still spiritually the same person, being the Sage of Wind, going to a Wind Temple, that is still going to be forest-based, because now that they've made their forest and wind temples pretty much the same thing, they can't seem to break the two apart.
You've made your foresty bed, now lie in it.
Yep, now lie in the wind. And again, your big clue on who could be the Sage of Wind, look for the instrument, buddy.
Basically.
Maybe this one could be a bit confusing because you're like, I haven't seen anyone with a violin. I mean, I saw an onion with a cello, but that couldn't possibly be the same. Although I will admit, I think that is one of the cutest things they did with this whole Sage instrument deal, is that he's using the same instrument, but he's using it in a manner that's convenient for him.
It's always the same song and dance with these guys. Whenever I try to run past them, they just twat me and I have to retake.
Yeah, it's their reach. Their program in place specifically for that, so you're just falling for the developer's intent.
Gotta swing into this cave here. Kind of awkward. I would recommend letting go, like, before you reach the thing, like, mid-swing.
I'll admit that his location kind of threw me off a bit, because Medley is visible from the island, like, you can see where she is. And she's standing sort of in the path, like when you go through that cave hole, like you see her.
Yeah.
Makara is hidden in this waterfall, and your only clue is obviously the sound and the notes floating out of the waterfall, in case you have the sound on your TV off or you're deaf, so.
Aw, he's adorable.
I want one. I want 5.
Oh, plushes.
Or, yeah, or the real ones. I could deal with having 5 onion musicians.
Yes, we shall conduct with great vigor.
You're a maestro? Well, if you hadn't go running off to get yourself eaten and kidnapped, maybe you would have known about this sooner.
Follow along, you crazy onion dude.
Also, Wind God's aria is really similar to the title screen music, although the title screen music sort of sounds like a mix between Earth God lyric and Wind God aria.
A little bit. Oh, this is tickling my Celtic bone right now.
Hey, why not? I got my Spanish bone tickled. But that animation from Link, still bad.
It reeks of GameCube limitations, really.
You remade the game for a purpose, guys, and it was so that you could use better technology. But all you did was make it look weirder.
This part is so weird because nothing else like this ever happens in the game, like where they break the fourth wall so much. But it's amazing all the same.
I love it. I like how the ghost appears and like he appears under it, because with Medley, she saw the sage while she was passed out. This one shows like the sage manifesting. And so I much prefer the Makar awakening scene to the Medley one. Even though Medley does have like the whole, oh boo-hoo, I'm gonna miss Prince Kamali, Makar is like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Well, he's a child of the forest, you know. His brothers and sisters are already out on the oceans doing stuff.
Yeah, so if anything, well, I guess that's the reason why the tree doesn't send him out on a seed quest, is because the tree knows. So,
yeah,
he's like, no, Makar, you stay here. And I bet he spent his whole life wondering, why can't I ever go out in the ocean and plant seeds?
Good point, actually. I never considered that. You may actually be wondering where he is. He's on the front of the boat.
Aww, he's so adorable!
Dude, seriously, like, look from the other way around. You can't see where you're going.
I always thought he was, like, looking ahead, but he's actually looking back at Link. So it's like, you're not even helping, Makar. You could be out on watch, but no.
Well, at least it makes each area they're going to a surprise.
Where are we going? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention, Crash.
Right back to Forest Haven.
You know what? I just needed you to be awakened. We didn't really need to go on an adventure, so bye.
Yeah.
No, you just take the fiddle from him. It's like, mine, bye.
That'll do us for today, folks, so please join us next time when we take on the second and final Sage dungeon of the game, the Wind Temple. See you then.